I know that you state in your book it's super important for law firms to create an environment where the employees can be honest and vulnerable. So can you sort of cut through that and tell us why that's so important?
Yeah, I mean, I go back to the data. This isn't just, hey, it sounds fluffy and cool. This isn't like that. This is data-driven team productivity. So, for example, Google did a major study of its teams. And I'm talking product teams. So these are teams that actually churn out the software you see every day from Google. And they studied which teams are most effective. And they expected to find things like, if you correlate like GPAs and university pedigree and years experience and maybe even personality traits, you'll find this perfect cocktail of a great team. And they correlated all of this with actual effectiveness, so the team actually hitting its goals over the years. It turned out none of those things I listed mattered. The number one thing that predicted the best teams were whether that team had psychological safety, meaning the ability to be vulnerable and psychologically trust that others won't judge me for it. So teams that felt they could do that were the teams that said, hey, here's a better idea. I've got some feedback. I need help. I made a mistake. All those things require a little bit of vulnerability. And in a legal team, you need that same stuff, right? If a person doesn't know what to do, which is going to happen like every day if you're a junior associate, right? But even as you get more senior, how do I deal with this tricky client situation? Or it can be management conversations. Hey, team, I'm not sure how best to work with you to make sure that our weekend work is sustainable, right? We have to do it a little bit, but how do we work together on this? Like that takes vulnerability from a manager to admit that they're not a perfect manager. At every stage in your career, you need to instill and have that psychological safety and have that trust. If you have it, then you're not just relying on your own intuitions to get better. The whole team will start weighing in and helping you get better. You can leverage the whole team truly to improve in your career. So without that trust, you just go back to self-preservation, self-protection. So the classic line is, it's about micromanagement. Micromanaged teams focus on avoiding errors. Highly productive teams focus on hitting goals. There's a lot of difference there, right? So if I don't have the trust to make mistakes, all I think is, what does the boss want to see? How do I just stay in my lane, do what I'm told to do, and get it right? I don't think, what's the best thing for this client? What's the best thing for this team? You need trust to unlock all that extra layer of productivity.